Hello, sci-fi gangsters. Anthony Nard, Jeremy Shepard. All right, this is it. We're going to talk about Star Trek Beyond. Let's get this out of the way first. Okay, we're real Star Trek fans.
Yeah, say so.
We've seen every episode of Star Trek, all the series, even Enterprise. Although, I must admit, I haven't watched the original series cartoon. Have you?
I have.
You've watched all the episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. There's the expert right there on the cartoon.
You didn't miss much.
We played Star Trek Seen It.
Yeah. Have you won that?
I've won a couple times. I think I won one time. I think you just have a better memory than I do. But anyways, I have a Galaxy class blueprint on my wall. Who else has that? Okay, anyway, so we got that out of the way. Huge Star Trek fans. Okay, so let's talk about Star Trek Beyond. We liked it. We didn't like it. Let's talk about a little bit about the plot. Star Trek Beyond. If anyone doesn't know what's going on, why don't you go ahead and quickly explain, real quick, what Star Trek Beyond is about. Go ahead.
In my words?
In your words.
So Star Trek Beyond is a normal episodic plot.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Stuff goes bad. Somebody comes in and saving. They go away to save them. Bad things happen. You find out there's a twist on the villain.
Okay.
And that's the end of the episode.
Okay, I guess we should get this out of the way. We're going to talk spoilers, right? We're going into it. So if you haven't seen the movie, you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch this. Okay, so it's a little bit more complicated than what you just said. So basically, the Enterprise is out on a mission to save somebody, to help somebody out.
Yeah.
They get attacked. The Enterprise is destroyed. They're stranded on the planet. They all get scattered in different places. They're all, separated from each other. Then they meet a native who helps them rescue all the crewmen. They find an old ship. They escape with the old ship. They find a way to just beat the enemy.
Inexplicably.
There's a plot, little plot twist about the villain, and then everything happily ever.
I mean, it was pretty obvious what was coming. It wasn't really a twist.
Okay, so there's the plot. So let's talk about this now. On the whole, did you like the movie?
No.
You did not like the movie.
I did not like the movie. I think if this had been the first one in this new rebooted series, I probably would have been okay with it.
Okay.
Because I put up with a lot just because I was happy to see Star Trek back.
You did put up with a lot.
I put up with a lot.
You put up a lot.
And it's just gotten to the point to where I'm just tired of it. Like, I'm just tired, mainly because we have a new show coming, right? So
Right.
Star Trek will continue. I want this movie to stop.
Okay.
I want that whole movie universe to die.
All right, so we'll go into specifics about what you didn't like here in a second. Actually, you know what? Let's go right into it because we'll talk about the bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll start off with let's just say what you really hated about it. Let's go ahead and start off with that. That way we can end with a positive note about Star Trek Beyond. Let me say this first. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a good movie. Was it one of the best Star Trek movies of all? No. But it was far better than Into Darkness, in my opinion, and the first Star Trek. Okay, I actually thought it was the better of the three for a lot of different reasons, and we can go into that later. But let's first talk about what we actually did not like from Star Trek Beyond. Go ahead first.
So there's a lot I didn't like. Right off the bat, it was mainly, to me, it felt like cheap jokes, action,
Okay.
and then just nods to the fans to be like, hey, we made this reference that you're going to get.
Okay.
And that was it.
All right.
It was an episode spread out to 2 hours with all that tossed into it.
Okay. So think more about what you didn't like, because I know you have a lot. Let me talk about what I actually did not like. So I hated the motorcycle scene. Not as much as I thought I was going to hate it based on the trailer, because there was a lot of backlash when we saw the trailer. But I really didn't like it because it was really silly. I mean, it was just, and I know Justin Lin was the director of Fast and the Furious, so you should expect a little bit of Fast and the Furiousness, which there is a lot of Fast and the Furiousness in this movie. The motorcycle scene didn't make any sense. In fact, he was on the motorcycle for a really long time. Did you notice that?
Yep.
So when all this martial arts is going on, everyone's escaping, he's just circling around. I understand that he has the holograph, that's helping him avoid getting shot down. But how long are you gonna miss? I mean,
there was a long time there at the end. It was just him,
just spinning around,
just going around circles.
And then he goes off into a ramp and he catches her, which I thought that was actually kind of a cool idea.
I thought it was okay
if they would have done it differently. If it wasn't like him circling around for half an hour and going, okay, You're gonna jump. I'm gonna jump. Okay, we got this. And then
You're gonna hear me yelling from way up there
Right.
over all this.
Okay, so that's one thing I actually didn't like. Now I'll say this: that's probably the only thing that I didn't like in this movie. All right, go ahead and give me another one that you did not like.
All right, so right off the bat, I didn't like the initial scene
Okay.
with the alien species. Right.
Okay.
I get it. Kirk's playing diplomat. Starfleet is not a military organization.
Uh-huh.
Right. They lay that out there. But you have this weird-looking alien species, which ever since the reboot, they've been trying to show us all these alien species
Right.
that they never did in the show,
Mhm.
right? Which is okay. You can't expect them to all be humanoid. The budgets are entirely different, so I get that. But the whole them getting really upset, rolling down, the comedy was about their size.
Right.
And they're these little things from Wizard of Oz, these
Right.
little walking monkeys who don't wear pants, that they make a joke about later on. And that's supposed to be funny, and it's just insulting to me.
I thought it was. I actually liked the beginning scene. I can understand what you're saying in terms of the CGI element. It did feel a little Star Wars-y, like you said before. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of a little throwback to, this is what Star Trek is about. And I know that gets thrown around a lot when Star Trek fans talk about it's not Trek. What I mean is, it's about diplomacy and meeting new aliens and finding different ways to negotiate and dealing with the mundane nature of what space travel will be. And I really thought that was I really enjoyed the first half of Star Trek Beyond because I felt like it just felt like Trek, and I felt like Chris Pine played a better Kirk. I enjoyed him much better. I actually really disliked Pine's interpretation of Kirk in the previous two movies. But I really enjoyed that scene. I actually enjoyed it, so I didn't hate it as much as you did. Let's talk about what we thought was meh. It was okay. It was fine.
I'm on kind of extremes here.
You are extreme.
So-
You either loved it or hate it.
So
I'll tell you one that you probably hated. I thought the way they defeat the enemy at the end, I thought it was okay.
I thought it was incredibly stupid.
I thought it was
It
okay.
did not make any sense at all.
You know why I think you didn't like it? It's because the trailer ruined it for you. Because we saw that song coming a mile away because they used it in the trailer. You're like, okay, well they're gonna play the Beastie Boys song
Yeah, I mean that, but why did these things all of a sudden start blowing up?
because of the frequency. I don't know.
But because they're not drones, they have people in them
Right.
who, for some odd reason, look much different than humans. That it doesn't explain why they look so much different.
Right.
But so why did all of a sudden they start blowing up?
To be fair, in Star Trek,
To be fair, yeah.
okay, they go.
Yeah.
There have been some movies and episodes where it's
So
like
that
wait,
is nitpicky
Okay,
in Star
yeah.
Trek to a certain extent. But I didn't like it from a Star Trek perspective, so I'm just talking about from a normal movie perspective.
I think the reason why you really didn't like it, like I said before, is because we saw it coming. Now, if we didn't hear that song in the trailer and it kind of came out of nowhere, and it was just a simple callback, I think we would have enjoyed that a lot more. But it's just like, okay, we know they're going to play the Beastie Boys song.
Yeah, like if it had been a different science fiction movie, I'd have loved it. It'd have gotten me jacked up. I'd have enjoyed the visual of it all, but it just didn't feel like Star Trek.
Another meh part I thought of Star Trek Beyond, and let me stress this again. I actually enjoyed the movie. I thought it was one of the better Star Trek movies. Another meh was it Jaylen, the new female character, the alien female character. I thought she was. By the way, I found out they actually named her after J Lo or Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence. So
J Law.
J Law. So it was right there. You go. J Law, J Lynn. So there you go. So there's a little fun
I
tidbit.
think that's okay. I mean, her to me was sort of the same thing about the humor and all of it. Like it was just cheap humor. Like she was messing up their names, and she's this alien who's not human, so that's funny.
Okay.
And it's the same way with Spock's Vulcan, but we got him to say horseshit, and that should be funny.
Okay. So that line
It's terrible.
was pretty bad. But hey, let me tell you, let's talk about what we liked. Let's talk about what did you actually
I still
like?
got some more stuff I got.
Okay, go ahead.
So the saucer section, right?
Okay, go ahead.
So the Enterprise D, the
Right.
saucer separates
Right.
because there's families on board.
I feel like this is a little bit nitpicky, but let's go.
No. It separates because there's families on board.
Uh-huh.
So when the Enterprise D goes into battle, the families can be safe in the saucer.
Right.
It goes away. The rest of the ship fights.
Mhm.
There are no families on the original Enterprise.
Okay.
It is purely Starfleet personnel.
Okay. So you didn't like that it could separate.
No, I didn't like it because there's no reason for it to.
Okay.
And it felt like, oh, this happened in TNG, so we're going to toss it in there. And some fans are going to see it, like, oh, I remember seeing that.
So you feel like it was supposed to be kind of for the fans, but they messed it up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fair enough. Do you have anything else that you didn't like about it? Probably a lot. Let's talk about what you actually did like, because once again, let me say this: I enjoyed Star Trek Beyond. Okay. So let's talk about what you actually did like about the movie.
I thought the interaction over Uhura's necklace really was fun.
Okay, so that was
I thought it was good.
That was pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
The whole you put a tracking device on her.
Yeah,
that was
good.
That was a solid joke. And there was other solid jokes in there. I know you really don't like Zachary Quinto.
I don't.
I actually do. I thought he was actually one of the better parts of the original Star Trek reboot and the and Into Darkness. I actually really enjoy what he does with Spock, because Spock, I feel like with the character of Spock, it's very easy to figure out Leonard Nimoy's formula and just imitate it. What you can say about Zachary Quinto is he's tweaking it a little bit. He's doing a little bit different than, he wasn't just imitating Leonard Nimoy, which I enjoyed. I understand they're trying to go a little bit more, he's a little bit more emotional than what Spock should probably be, but I enjoyed it. I really liked the whole he's delirious line. I thought that was really funny. I enjoyed that one when he's laughing.
I thought that was okay.
That was a good line.
Because I mean, there are parts in the original series where Spock loses control a little bit, and you see these little outbursts and things like that.
So,
but normally it would come out like a raised eyebrow. It's a facial expression. It's not.
So what you're saying is you actually enjoy Star Trek Beyond. Let's talk about what did you actually like about it?
So like I said, I thought they did that well.
Okay.
I thought it was very pretty. I mean,
visually,
it was very pretty.
Okay.
There were a couple of little CGI hiccups, like right off when he's coming out the bike.
Oh, I noticed that too. That was bad.
That was really bad. I was surprised it was that bad.
Yeah.
I thought, like, I had problems with the starbase they had.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't feel natural. Like, it was supposed to be a Starfleet base, right?
Right.
Why would Starfleet have something like that? Like, I could see that being a Federation base, right?
Okay.
So I could see the Federation putting resources into something like that.
Okay.
But the Federation is separate from Starfleet.
Mm-hmm.
And that did not feel like a Starfleet base to me.
So it was too over the top.
Like, again, it was very pretty.
Right.
It was inventive. I enjoyed the way they brought it in, but it felt like one of those things of, we just want to show you new things,
yeah,
like we do with all these weird aliens.
Yeah. That was okay. That was okay.
Yeah.
That was fine. So you really liked the movie, is what you're trying to say. So the one thing I did really enjoy is they really went into the characters more than they had in the previous. The first Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, all the characters were kind of on the surface. This one, it kind of dove into, it gave each person kind of their own little backstory. So the Bones and Spock interactions was great. Once again, they dove into Kirk without kind of resorting to the whole, oh, he's going to punch his way out of a situation, he's going to bone the female, right? They didn't do that. I was
actually a little surprised they didn't do that.
I was too, but I really appreciated it, because I thought they made him more of a leader. They made him someone who's like, hey, this is my crew. I'm here to save everybody, and we're gonna get out of this together. And I really appreciate it, because I thought that's the essence of Kirk. I really enjoyed Chris Pine in this movie. I enjoyed everybody. I enjoyed everybody's character in this movie.
I mean, I think if you look back at the way the original series, how they treated Kirk, and then how he matured through the movies,
mm-hmm.
like, he did have this arc as a character throughout it, and he's kind of had that through the first 3 movies.
Yeah, and that's what I think is so great, because all the characters did kind of have a little bit of an arc, So, and they focused, each kind of had their own little story, I wasn't a big fan of Scotty in the previous 2 films. I liked him a lot more in this one. In the previous 2 films, it felt like he was kind of just like a stumbling buffoon who just kind of chanced into situations. And this one, it didn't feel like that at all. He was almost like a Darkwing Duck of the Star Trek universe, and it wasn't like this at all.
He's probably the most different from the original character. Even though I like the actor who plays him, but it's definitely a different character.
I like Sulu. Sulu had his moments to shine. He kind of had his. It just showed how he can be a leader at points too.
Yeah, I thought that was. I like that.
and a horror too. I mean, I enjoyed everybody in this movie. Now the villain, I think could have been better. I'm a big Idris Elba fan, so I was a little disappointed on what he brought. I thought the ending made him a little more of a complicated villain than what. At first, it was just this is generic villain, Star Trek villain, but they kind of dived into his backstory. You kind of understood where he was coming from a little bit, although it didn't make a lot of sense.
It didn't make a lot of sense.
Like, I understand that the Federation kind of left you out of nowhere, but you're going to kill everybody over that? I just didn't. If you're going to have so much allegiance to humanity, then you're going to go and just murder everybody?
Well, it didn't make. I mean, it didn't make sense, but I could see that type of villain being in an episode.
Right, okay.
Like, so I don't have that big issue with it. My problem was they waited too long to have any development for that character.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, it was obvious where it was going, but he was just flatlined the entire time, and then got a little bit interesting there at the finish.
Yeah.
And again, why is his appearance changing? Why did he start to look more human there at the end? Why did some of these other people who also were members of his crew, I guess, why did they look like different alien species than him? Like,
yeah, I don't know. So apparently
they don't explain that
they found this. They apparently found the technology that let them prolong life, but apparently it also made them look different. I don't really understand how that worked. But anyways, on the whole, Star Trek Into Darkness is a great film. Jeremy agrees. There is a lot of unnecessary action sequences in it.
Yes, it's very long.
The martial art fight between what was Jalen and the other guy was kind of like, okay, this is kind of silly. The motorcycle scene was silly. It just seemed a little over the top at points. But I thought on the whole it was a fun Star Trek.
Like I said, it would have been an okay episode if it was an hour long.
All right, so if we had to do 0 out of 10, what would you rate this movie?
5.
Wow. I'm going to go 7.9. 7.9 out of 10. Okay. That's what I'll say. It was an okay Star Trek movie. Definitely not Wrath of Khan. Better than Into Darkness. I hated Into Darkness.
I don't know.
I definitely think so. But that's our review. Anthony Darr, Jeremy Shepard. So tell us what you think. Comment below. Tell us that we're dumb. Tell us that we're really not Star Trek fans because I haven't seen the Star Trek original series cartoon. But anyways, yeah, we're the Sci-Fi Gangsters. Thank you.